What's up guys, Ramsey here, back for another Godforge video. Today we're looking at which starter hero you should pick to start the game. Let's get into it. We're gonna go over the kit of each champion, and at the end I'll tell you which one is best and why. I will also have the timestamp in the video so you can move forward if you need to. Something important to note, I'm currently testing the alpha. The game isn't out yet, which means we will later down the road have access to more content, which might increase or decrease the value of the 3 starter champions. Also, their abilities might get buff or nerf. I don't know yet. So just so you know, if you watch this video a few months later, once the game is finally live and this video is still up, it means that any information I'm giving you today still stand and you can still use it to start your journey with this game. Let's start with the first champion. We have Lady Xoc. I just wanted you to know I've done all the waves of alpha and I have tested basically all of the champions. They're gonna be somewhat similar, but I do think one of them stand out and is a bit better than the other two. So we're just gonna look at the abilities. On her A1, she will attack one enemy and have 35% chance of placing bleed. And as you can see, you can click on the details to see the multipliers. So we get here 315% attack. I love it. I love the bleed. Then on the A2, attack all enemies, 420% of the attack, which they're gonna have the same AoE multiplier. All 3 of them will have that AoE doing 420% of the attack, so that's something very easy to compare. 25% chance of additional chance to strong hit, which is great. That means we don't have to build them with 100% crit rate, and then 80% chance of placing 1 stack of bleed on each target. Of course, as you can of course book all of these abilities and make them better with the books out here. As you can see, so you can increase the damage and whatnot and reduce the cooldown, so do keep that in mind. On her ultimate, attack all enemies 2 times. If an enemy is defeated, place a speed up on this hero for 2 turns, and then on a passive, increase damage inflicted by 2% for each stack of bleed on the target. So she's a great champion, good damage, and she's gonna place the bleed, and that's about it. That's the first starter hero. The other one is the one I actually picked. Now do keep in mind as well, as of now in the alpha, we do get all 3 of them really quickly. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhat similar when the game come out. So whichever one you pick, you should be able to get the other 2 pretty quickly if you decide to change your mind. If you want some massive discounts on all your favorite video games and gift cards, check out my Instant Gaming link in the description. You get some crazy discounts and support the channel at the same time. Thanks a lot. Then we have Ramses right here. We're going to look at his abilities. On his A1, attack one enemy, 35% chance of placing acid. So very similar debuff, just that one does basically poison damage, I guess, versus the bleed. Then on this one, attack all enemies, 25% chance. It's going to be exactly the same. But we're placing acid instead. And then on the A3, attack all enemies. If an enemy is defeated, then increase the turn meter of this hero by 30%. So with the other hero, we were getting a speed buff. Here we're increasing the turn meter. On the passive, deal 20% increased damage to enemies under acid. So this is going to be really good for any boss early on that is weak to acid or take some good damage to acid, especially that then we basically do more damage when there's acid on the enemy. The last champion, and he is in my opinion the best out of the 3, you'll see he's going to do something very different. The other 2, they basically do the same, just different debuff, but they're very similar. Guan Yu does something a bit more different, and I do like him a lot better. On his A1, attack one enemy. If the target is under drain, inflict additional damage equal to 5% of this target max HP. So this is going to be very important. So we're going to be placing drain with the A2. And I do love drain because it's going to allow you to heal yourself or the team when somebody attacks the enemy. If they have the drain debuff, it's going to heal you, which is great, especially during the early game. And also you will want to place that drain because that's how you're going to do your damage on bosses. We're going to have some good AoEs on the other abilities, but for bosses, you will be doing that damage with the max HP because again, the more HP the boss has, the more damage you're going to do. Unlike the other two champions, they do have tick damage, which are great for bosses as well with the acid and the bleed. But some bosses will be somewhat resistant and take less damage from it. So he might do a bit less damage on bosses, definitely will, but he's really great overall because he can still put out some damage with that max HP ability, but he also has the AoEs right here, and he's going to place Drain, which is going to allow you to heal at the same time. On his A2, attack all enemies, he also has a 25% additional chance to strong hit, and then 80% chance to place Drain on each target for 2 turns. As you can see, if you look at the details, it's the same multiplier right here. So really the difference is the Drain is not going to do much damage to the enemy. Damage from attacks is increased by 20%. Attackers heals by 20% of the damage from attacks. So you will do more damage, but you won't have that tick damage that usually does a lot of damage to bosses that the other two starters have. But you do have that Drain that's going to help the entire team stay alive, basically. The entire team is going to do more damage. And then he can also do some damage here with the max HP A1 as well. On the ultimate, attack all enemies, then attack 2 random enemies. If an enemy is defeated, place initiate up ×2 on this hero for 2 turns, which will allow you to increase the initiative stat by 20%, so you'll get your ultimate quicker. So just another AoE, plus then we attack 2 random enemies again, and then we have a passive. Don't look at this one. This one is an imprint, so that's added onto it. Inflict 20% increased damage to enemies under Drain. So I think he's better just overall because he still does some great damage. As you can see, he has the same multiplier. So for any wave content and just raw damage on any bosses, he's going to do basically the same as the other two. But also he brings the Drain, which will allow to keep your entire team alive, keep healing your entire team all the time. The only difference is he has a little bit of max HP damage versus the other two have tick damage, which again, it really depends on the type of bosses you're facing, but the tick damage are going to be a lot better for bosses specifically, unless they have a resistance to those specific debuff. But again, he's still going to do some great damage for the wave, some good damage for the bosses as well, and keeps your team alive at the same time with the Drain while being a damage dealer. I think he's just a bit more versatile than the other two, and that's why I think he's the best out of the 3. Let me know what you think, if you agree or disagree with me, and we'll see you in the next video.